Bloomberg Audio Studios. Podcasts, radio, news.
The Stock Movers Podcast, your roundup of companies making moves in the stock market, harnessing the power of Bloomberg data.
Now, let's have a look at some of the stocks on the move today here in Europe. I'm Caroline Hepker and I'm joined by Bloomberg's equities reporter Joe Easton. Good morning. So let's look at the German tech giant Siemens. It's up, of course, this after big news out of the US for this sector.
Yes, this is an interesting one. So Siemens gaining today, up around 1.2% at the moment. It was up around close to 3% earlier. Now, the news from the US is that there are going to be a reduction of restrictions on chip design software that is sold to China. So essentially, the US was restricting the software that is used to design semiconductors because of their trade relations with China. That will now actually be removed, and Siemens is one of the key companies that makes this kind of software, and potentially, according to analyst reports that I'm reading, could see around 100 million jump in profit just on this software. So that is why the stock is gaining. There's also a couple in the US that we're going to keep an eye on, a firm called Synopsys, which is expected to jump later, but that's the boost for Siemens today. Yeah,
of course. It's this easing of the tensions between US and China in terms of that high-end technology, hugely important step forwards. Meanwhile, should we be keeping a watchful eye on watches of Switzerland?
Yes, stocks to watch today indeed. So watch of Switzerland. This one actually, I'm struggling to get my words out today, lower today on margins. The stock falling as much as 10%. Now, this is mainly due to the margin outlook. Margins are contracting. The company's predicting that their margins could decline by around 100 basis points this year. Now, analysts were only expecting a much smaller decline, so around 0.2% in terms of the margin declines. But I'm often outside Watch of Switzerland, staring into the window and dreaming about making a purchase. I'm sure these things have kind of trebled in value over the past couple of years. I'm sure you used to be able to pick up a Rolex for about $5,000, but now the entry levels seem to be around 15 grand. So,
50, is it?
I'm sure the cheapest ones you see in the windows these days. So you'd think it's pretty non-cyclical. But watch of Switzerland today down on weaker margins.
Okay. UK house builders are under pressure. Why is that?
So yesterday we had the big jump in bond yields in the UK, given the stuff around Reeves and what you've been discussing a lot today, given the worries about potentially higher government spending in the UK and the Chancellor's position. So that was really the sector that was hit yesterday. We saw drops in the likes of Barclay Group, that was down around 6%, Persimmon, 5%, Bellway, Barratt. All of them had their worst day in a couple of years, given that bond market uncertainty feeds into the mortgage market, which has been the big weight on the sector. They're rebounding a little bit today, so they're rising around 2 to 3% across the sector, but home builders on a 2-day basis having their worst couple of days since April because of these worries around Reeves and the fiscal situation.
The Stock Movers Podcast from Bloomberg Radio. Check back with us throughout the day for the latest roundup of companies making news on Wall Street. And for the latest market-moving headlines, listen to Bloomberg Radio live. Catch us on YouTube, Bloomberg.com, and on Apple CarPlay and Android Auto with the Bloomberg Business app.